Hi BookTube! My name is Sarah and welcome to the Bookish Knitter. Today I am coming to you with another chatty video. So I had a chatty video yesterday. I hope you all enjoyed it. I literally just filmed it. And I'm coming to you with another chatty video. This was not the case at all. I was actually going to do a Garbogus video, a pre-Garbogus video talking about category romance, but I'm going to save that for next week. So that will be coming, I promise. I actually have plans to do like Garbogus videos every single week in August, every Wednesday. So stay tuned for those because I'm very, very excited about them. So anyway, today I'm here to talk about audiobooks. And I know, you're like, Sarah, you talk about audiobooks all the time. What the heck, you know? And I've done videos talking about audiobooks. But I haven't done one in a while that specifically is just about audio. And there was a comment made in a video of mine over the weekend that I didn't reply to. One of my other viewers replied to it, and I saw the back and forth. And thank you very much. I had no problems with it to remove anything. Nothing was overtly offensive, or nothing was offensive at all, I should say. But it was a conversation between two people. I did not comment on the original poster, mainly because it would have been a long post of me talking about pretty much what I'm going to sit here and talk about now. So pretty much what the person stated was that audiobooks are not reading. The gist of what that person said was that audiobooks are not reading. And I, as you guys know, completely disagree with that. Full stop. Audiobooks are reading. And that is the end of this video. Thank you. No, I'm just kidding. I have a bit more to say. But at the gist of this video, if you want the gist of this video, audiobooks are reading. Full stop. Done. In this day and age, I don't know how people still have a kind of narrow-minded mindset to that point. And it's all how we consume the books. Now, I'm going to go on both sides of the coin here because I have struggled myself with audiobooks over the last few years. And I talked about this when I did my reading reset for the month of July. That what I was doing, and I was guilty of it as well, and I'm sure there's a lot of booktubers who do it, that these people who get through 50, 60 books in a month, they're listening to the audio at 2.5 plus times speed. My question at the end of the day is, okay, that book that you read at the beginning of July, at the end of July, can you tell me what it was about? Do you know what I mean? Like, can you name me the characters? Tell me about the plot. Was there something particular? Was there a funny scene that you really enjoyed in that book? Because that's the thing. It's not just reading the book to get the numbers in. Again, I was guilty of this years ago as well. I'd be, doing a lot on audio, and I'd be pushing up the speed just to get through books. And the original poster made that comment as well. They said that is what they kind of meant in that aspect. And I understand that. And because I see it too. And even back then I saw it and I was still guilty of it. I didn't do it nearly as much as some booktubers did or do, but I was still guilty of doing it, right? So that's kind of where my reading shifted over the last few years. That it's not my goal anymore. My goal is to enjoy the books because that at the end of the day is what's important. If I wasn't here on BookTube, would I give two craps about the numbers? No, I would not. I absolutely would not. I'd be like, whatever, I read 5 books this month. Awesome sauce. Or I read 4 books and I listened to an audiobook this month because I was using it to commute back and forth to work. But the thing is at the end of the day is that I am a very fast reader. I can read very quickly. So when I do listen to audio, I do tend to pump up the speed a little bit, but it's usually around 1.25 to 1.5 depending. Because most of the time I'm driving or doing something else like crafting. So my mind is partially on something else as well. And I don't want the speed too high because I want to be able to concentrate on the other thing that I'm doing, right? So that's just me. Everybody's different. There are some people like 2 times speed is as slow as they can go because, that's just how they can sit. Because there are a lot of people who will, maybe just sit and listen to an audiobook. My mother does that, at night before she goes to bed. She lays in bed and listens to her audiobook. And she has it at like 2 times speed because that's all she's doing. Totally understandable. And I'm not here to tell anybody that they're right or wrong. That's pretty much the whole point. Other than the fact is that if you don't think audiobooks are reading, you're wrong. Sorry, my channel, my opinion. That's pretty much the only thing I'm going to tell people they're wrong on. But it's however you want to do it, Like, there are people who just have that you might have a type of job where you can do that all day and listen to an audiobook and get through a lot of, and that's fantastic. For me, it really started, my love of audiobooks started with commuting to work. I had an hour commute each way. So I was listening to music, I was listening to the radio, but then it's like, okay, morning radio, it's like, okay, every half an hour, they're playing the news for 20 minutes or for 10 minutes, and here they keeps hearing the same news stories over and over again. I was like, I'm kind of over this, so I decided to try audiobooks, and the first book I listened to on audio was Outlander. Guys, it was amazing. It's still hands down one of my favorite audiobooks of all time. But that kind of sparked that for me. I'm like, okay, I have now gained back, again, an hour into work, an hour home. It's 2 hours a day, 5 days a week. That's 10 hours. I've now gained back 10 hours of reading time by getting to listen to audiobooks, which is fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Other people who might commute, if you commute on the train, maybe you don't want to be sitting there reading a book, you can pop your earbuds in and, ignore everybody else on the train, kind of an idea, or on the subway or whatever you're on. That's great. You can bring out a book too if you wanted to. Like, honestly, if I commuted via train, I'd be like, the whole time, But for me in the car, you can't do this while you're driving, unfortunately. Not until I get a Tesla and it self-drives for me. Even then, I don't think I'd be able to relax long enough to even get like a sentence read. So anyway, that's what it is for me. And, and I know for a lot of people, they might have disabilities, reading disabilities, anything at all like that negates, like that means that they need audiobooks. And that's originally, I think, what audiobooks were really put out for. People who were elderly, people who had disabilities, what have you. And now they've kind of become very mainstream. And we're seeing a lot of books now being published on audio, which is fantastic. They are expensive, though. That's the one downside. But thank you for Hoopla, our libraries, and all those other wonderful places where we can borrow audiobooks from. So, yeah, pretty much this is not a long video. I just kind of wanted to talk about it and to say, like, I appreciate you guys who leave comments and videos about things, but, and I appreciate y'all having your opinion. Of course, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. But when I feel like you're kind of being mean, there's certain ways you can say things in certain ways. Does that make sense? And that's how I felt. So, like, for me, I've waffled back and forth on audio over the last few years. My biggest thing with audio is that I own so many books on the Kindle. And this part of my brain is like, why am I going to listen to the audiobook of this when I own the Kindle edition? It's like going out and buying all your groceries for the week and then being like, nah, I don't want to eat that stuff. Let's go have dinner. Let's go out and get dinner. Like, that's how I feel about it, right? That, I own it in this format, so why am I going to read it in a different format? But a lot of people will do that. A lot of people buy the print book, the ebook, and the audiobook and have all three. I don't have that kind of disposable income. But if I do own the book, what I'm starting to really fall into is that if I own the book on Kindle and I want to listen to it on audio, if I can get it for free on audio or for a lesser price, like if you usually own the Kindle edition, you can get the audiobook for a cheaper price. Now, I almost never pay full price for a Kindle book. So I might buy a Kindle book when it's on sale for 99 cents. And then I go on Amazon, 6 or 8 months later, and I want to, or not on Amazon, on Audible, and I want to see if they have the audiobook available. And the audiobook is, because I own the Kindle edition, is $1.99. Okay, that book now just cost me $3 sold, to listen to the, right? So that works for me, and that I am willing to do. But I'm not willing to pay full price for a Kindle book and then spend a credit or pay full price for the audiobook. So that's kind of my personal struggle, for lack of a better word. But that's me, and everybody's different, I wish that there were more books available on audio, especially for people who need, that's their only way that they're able to read. And I also kind of wish that they were a little bit more affordable. Like, I get it. I get they're expensive because, the author has put all that work into the book. The actors who are doing the narration are absolutely deserve every penny that they get paid, because most of them are, you get a few duds, but 98% of the time, the narrators are fabulous. You know what I mean? So I get it. But yeah, I just kind of wanted to come on here and talk about that, just because the comment kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, if you will, just because I felt like it was a mean-spirited comment, and that's not what I want to see here on my channel. Because we're all a little community, we all have our own opinions, and we can all agree to disagree, and I think that that's okay. I have watched videos from people where there's stuff that's said that I don't agree with. I'm not going to leave a comment. I'm just going to let sleeping dogs lie and just, I still leave my thumbs up for the video. Thank you so much for doing that video. I didn't necessarily agree with everything you said, but I'm going to move on to the next video. And, you know, we're all here to support each other, and we all have our own opinions, and, you know, I just don't want people to be made to feel like they're doing something wrong. Does that make sense? So yeah. So anyway, that's it. That's kind of, it was kind of a talk about audiobooks, and it was kind of a talk about like comment sections in YouTube videos. And I have a feeling the comment section is going to blow up on this one with you guys, with people who wouldn't normally comment making comments. So we shall see what happens. But anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching. Take care, happy reading, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye, everybody.